Hey, and welcome. Today, we are digging into a pretty wild claim from our source material. The idea is that wealth isn't about luck or how hard you work or even your mindset. No, it's about a physical thing happening inside your brain.
So, right out of the gate, this idea just tosses conventional wisdom out the window. We're being told to forget everything we've heard about a wealth mindset. Instead, we're supposed to think about something way more tangible, something physical, an actual switch in our brain.
And that, of course, leads to the big question. Where's the proof? Well, the source points to what it says is research from MIT, suggesting that scientists actually found this by looking inside the brains of really successful people.
All right, so let's get into our first section. We're going to break down this pretty radical idea and explore what exactly makes it so different from everything we usually hear about how to build wealth. Okay, so let's be really clear about the distinction the source is making here. On one side, you have the old idea of mindset. It's kind of vague, right? It's just a general attitude. But on the other side, it presents this neurological switch as something completely different, something specific, physical, and importantly, something you can actually control.
And this is so important because, according to the source, this isn't just a fun little detail. This switch is presented as the fundamental dividing line. It's the one concrete thing that supposedly separates the wealthy from, well, everybody else.
Now, a claim that big needs some serious backup, right? So in this next part, we're going to look at the proof that the source material offers to support this whole idea of a neurological switch for wealth.
You can see how the argument is built here. The source doesn't present this as just a theory. It's framed as a scientific discovery. They specifically claim it was found at MIT, that they used brain scans, and that the subjects were self-made millionaires. Each of these points is designed to give the idea a sense of real-world validity.
So what is this neurological switch, according to the source? Let's define it clearly. They're talking about a specific, identifiable pattern in the brain. It's a pattern they say is found in wealthy people, and here's the kicker, it's not set in stone. It can supposedly be controlled, consciously.
Okay, so if this thing exists, the next logical question is, so what? What can you do about it? And that brings us to what's really the most compelling part of this whole thing, the promise that anyone can learn to control this switch. And there it is. That's the core promise. It's not just some interesting discovery. It's a technique that can be taught. The source isn't talking about a long, hard journey of self-improvement. It makes a very direct, very fast claim. You can learn how to do this in basically no time at all. And that number, 3, is a really big deal here. It's all about making this sound, well, easy. It sends the message that this isn't some complicated long-term process, but a quick, simple action that anyone can take.
So let's zoom out a bit and think about the bigger picture. If this idea were true, how would it completely change the way we think about wealth and success? What does it actually mean for you?
So let's just pull all this together for a quick recap. The source material is trying to reframe wealth. It's not some abstract mindset. It's a tangible neurological switch. It claims this discovery was made by researchers at MIT, and the most important piece of the puzzle is that this switch can supposedly be flipped by anyone. And that right there, that's the real game changer in this whole idea. It takes wealth out of the realm of mystery, luck, or background and puts it squarely in the category of a skill. A trainable neurological skill you can develop, just like learning to ride a bike or play the piano.
And the source wraps up with this very direct, very high-stakes message. It's positioning this information as something that's not just interesting but potentially life-altering. A pretty bold statement, to say the least.
So we'll leave you with that final, provocative question that comes from this whole premise. If you really could flip a neurological switch to change your financial life, what's the very first thought pattern you decide to change? Something to chew on. Thanks for tuning in.